Hello everybody, this is Neil Ferree. Okay, this is the video version of the SlideShare deck entitled How to Manage Your Social Media Presence. And this is the outtake of an article that I read on Social Times that showed, their research showed that 9 out of 10 recruiters will Google the candidate's name before they'll make a hiring decision. And I would submit to you that in the private sector, your prospects, 9 out of 10 of your prospects are going to Google you before they add you to the short list. So the upside is this: if you follow this blueprint that I'm about to walk you through, you're going to be able to compress your sales cycle exponentially. And I'll show you how that worked for me and how it can probably work for you too. Okay, so step number 1 is just Google your full name, and Google both your full name and your brand name. So here's what it looks like on using me as an example. Here's what Google shows, page 1 results. There's my top socials and there's my WordPress blog. Here's the page 2 results, SlideShare, Scoop It, etc. But I would also do the same thing on Bing. It doesn't have nearly the search volume, but they will use it a lot. And it's the same usual suspects. It's good that now this time my rich snippet is connected to my LinkedIn. But there's the top socials and there's the page 2 socials, because you don't know which one of those socials they're most active on. So the more social profiles you have where they are, the better. And then thirdly, as I use the DuckDuckGo, because it hides the personalization. It doesn't use, like with Google, if you're one of the 30,000 people that have me in a circle, then that's going to skew for that personalization. Same thing with Bing and Facebook. It skews the results. DuckDuckGo doesn't use either of those. So there's the top socials. It's the same combination, just different ranking, but it gives me an indication of which social profiles the search engines rank better. And there's the page 2 socials. So when it's all said and done, when you do these 3, your inventory, and these are the top social profiles that the prospect's going to see and be able to measure you against your competitors. Okay, so then what you need to do, of course, is you need to optimize each one of those social profiles. And it's pretty much a mechanical task kind of thing. You get rid of any of the images that aren't congruent or complementary. Make sure that your meta is tightened up. You want to have the same titles and taglines. Make sure that your authorship is set up and make sure it's not 10 years old. And your logo and your color scheme is consistent across the board. Then you want to set up your social monitoring so that you can track the social engagements, your fans, your followers, your likes, your plus ones, and your retweets, because you need to tap into those social conversations and take it from a digital connection to a relationship connection. I like to track which one of my socials I'm trending and which one's going up or down. And then, because what I show you here in a second, you're able to track not just your video views, but your social shares and your comments. The Sum All tool tracks all of the social profiles that you add to it, to the dashboard. So it's tracking my blog, my Twitter, my Plus, my Facebook, my YouTube video plays, even my Bitly links. The Community tool, it's kind of like Follower Wonk, only it's so much more easier to use in terms of being able to manage all of the communications and the engagements that you have on Twitter. Like in this case here, Mark's got 16,000 followers, and I need to reply to his, what was it, tracking you too, you always seem to post good content. That's an ideal opportunity for me to engage with Mark again. And it shows that I'm not even following him yet, so I need to remedy that. It shows you not only who you need to follow and unfollow, but how many times they've communicated with you and when's the last time you communicated with them. Like, see, that came in 18 hours ago. And then the third tool that I use is Mention, because it covers the entire web. You see, it's got my SlideShare, it's got my Scoop It, it's got Twitter. You're able to track not just your brand name, but you're also able to track your long tail keywords, that you're tracking for. So you're able to tap into the right social conversations. I use the reportive tool ever since LinkedIn bought it, and here's why. Because once you take it from a social signal or a social share and you bring them into your email communication, then instantly I'm able to follow them on Twitter, friend them on Facebook, connect with them on LinkedIn, and circle them on Plus without having to go looking for it. It's all right there. It's extremely handy, it's automatic, and it replaces that whole right vertical AdWords data feed. This is more of an advanced thing, but what I've figured out, I've put together a system where you create color-coded filtered folders in Gmail. I've got it set up by social alerts and social signals by social platform, so that if someone endorses me on LinkedIn, I get a notification. If someone rescoops one of my scoop topics, I get a notification. If they follow me on SlideShare, any one of these social profiles, I get a notification, and it goes right to the right folder, so it's not in one big bucket. This is what it looks like, a snapshot of just one of the days, or a couple of the days actually, and it's a combination of filtered folders, color-coded filter folders, and I've got a schema set up by using my color-coded stars and bursts. So that the idea here is that I'm able to quickly identify what kind of social connection I've got and take the appropriate action. I'm a Chrome user and or Firefox, they both work the same, but this is the Fox tab. I find this extremely handy in terms of you set it up once and then you're done. It takes a couple of minutes per profile, but what I'm able to do is I don't have to type in any URLs. I can just go right to the social profile, do the connection, have the conversation or whatever the social engagement, whatever the task is, and then move on. And I've got my social media automation tools set up in here, Feedly and Nimble and Community and the like. At the end of the day, what you're looking to do, what I find most small businesses that work with me, what do we want to do is set up a content curation and syndication model so that any article that you put on your WordPress blog, you push it to Scoop It, and then you're able to amplify your marketing message to your top socials with your social monitoring and in Community and Sway and the other social tools that I mentioned earlier. Now here's what I was talking about, the upside in terms of compressing the cycle time. Typically my sales cycle is like 4 to 6 weeks. It's usually 5 to 7 touches, engagements, some kind of communication that we have before a buying decision is made. But in this case, because of how I've got my social footprint set up in my social link wheel, this was, like you see here, it's a 48-hour sales cycle. Dr. Michael Jones, he subscribed to my YouTube channel on April 22nd. He actually watched 2 videos. That video sent him to a SlideShare deck that he saw, and where I had the video embedded in the SlideShare. So the next day he scheduled a meeting by visiting my website and hit the VC. So he scheduled the appointment. We had a brief conversation to confirm the appointment. On the 24th we had the meeting, and then later that day he hit the PayPal. So we went from 22 to 24, from suspect to qualified prospect to paying customer. So that's what I would call a compressed sales cycle time. Now I'll concede that you don't need to be active on all of these social profiles like I am, but you definitely want to be on the big 7. This first row here and you know, WordPress. I can't live without SlideShare, and I love Quora, and Scoop It is my curation engine. So I'm here to tell you that if you follow this blueprint, you're going to be able to vet yourself quickly once you go through that process that I mentioned earlier, and you're going to be able to compress your sales cycle time. So if that made sense to you, you can do a couple of different things. Google my name, Neil Ferree, or do a search for how to manage your social media presence, and I'll be right there at the top. We'll have a 30-minute conversation, no charge, and we'll see if this model works for you, which I suspect that it will. So I hope you found it useful, and thanks for your time.